is causing stress.
Bad news about prices in the grocery store.
A little inflation is a good thing.
A little inflation is a good
A
thing.
little inflation now would be a good thing.
Everybody wants a little inflation.
Historically high inflation.
Jobs were hemorrhaging, inflation was rising, we weren't manufacturing a damn thing here.
We'll end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy.
If I ask you a question, what is the greatest invention of mankind? There are a lot of options like electricity, which we use for wireless communication, work, entertainment, and made our life easier. Aeroplane and helicopter are used for flying in air, cars for driving in road, fire which keep us warm, clothes which stops dirtiness to hurt our body, medicine which we use to recover our body. Therefore, there are uncountable inventions created by humanity. But there is one invention, it's not the greatest, but it's the biggest illusion created by humanity. It is called money.
The creation of money arose from the limitations of the barter system, the earliest method of trade, in which people exchanged goods and services directly for other goods and services. While the barter system worked in small, simple economies where individuals knew one another and their needs, it had significant drawbacks. The most prominent of these was the necessity of a double coincidence of wants. In other words, for a trade to occur, both parties had to have something the other person desired. For instance, if a farmer had wheat but needed a pair of shoes, he would need to find someone who both wanted wheat and had shoes to offer in return. In larger or more complex societies, where people had a wider range of different needs and desires, this system became inefficient and impractical. As human societies grew in size and complexity, so too did the need for a more efficient means of exchange. A universally accepted medium of exchange was required, something that could easily be traded and valued by all parties involved in a transaction. In addition to facilitating trade, money also needed to serve as a unit of account, to measure value, and a store of value, to preserve wealth over time. The need to resolve the limitations of barter was the driving force behind the creation of money. The first recorded use of money dates back to around 3000 BC in Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians and Akkadians used barley and silver as forms of currency. These commodities were valued for their utility, barley as a foodstuff and silver for its relative scarcity and ability to be shaped into various objects. By the time of the ancient Egyptians and the early civilizations of the Indus Valley, money took more standardized forms. The Egyptians used metal rings. The real turning point in the development of money occurred around 600 BC in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, modern-day Turkey, where the first metal coins were minted. These coins were made from electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver, and they had standardized weights and stamped designs. The stamp, typically a symbol of the king or the ruling authority, ensured the coin's authenticity and weight, providing a level of trust and uniformity. The idea quickly spread, with Greek and Persian empires adopting coinage, and by the 5th century BC, coins had become a common feature of trade throughout the Mediterranean world. The use of metal coins revolutionized commerce by making transactions more efficient, as the coins had intrinsic value and could be easily transported and standardized. However, the invention of coins did not immediately lead to a fully fledged monetary system. Coins, while useful, were still limited in their scope. They were often too cumbersome for small transactions and could be easily hoarded. This issue was addressed in part by the development of paper money in China, where the first recorded use of paper currency dates back to the Tang Dynasty, 618–907 CE.
The Chinese government issued promissory notes known as Jiao Chao to avoid the need for traders to carry heavy metal coins over long distances. By the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279 CE, the use of paper money became widespread, and the Chinese government established a centralized system for issuing and regulating it. These early forms of paper money were backed by the government's promise to redeem them for precious metals, which gave them value. The spread of paper money outside China began in the 13th century, particularly through the Mongol Empire under the leadership of Kublai Khan. Marco Polo, the Venetian explorer, famously described the use of paper money in Yuan Dynasty China, noting that it was accepted throughout the empire, even in distant regions, because the government guaranteed its value. This knowledge slowly spread to Europe and the Middle East, but it was not until the 17th century that paper money became widely accepted in Europe, particularly with the establishment of national banks.
If you want to know how is money the biggest illusion created by humanity, then like, share my video and subscribe. See you later.